Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
All right, so we have kind of an interesting topic for you today. It's going to be another sort of, I don't need an experiment.
Profound thinking piece.
Just more of a thinker. Because I found an article, and it is from the Pitch KC.
Never heard of them.
What the heck is... Okay.
I don't know. This is the website the article is on.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Damn it, Chinzia.
Okay.
All right, the Pitch JC.
KC.
Oh. Okay.
This is going well so far.
Okay, excellent. And what's the title of the article?
So it's called Why the Boy Band Concept Will Live Forever. And frankly, when I saw this, I was like, yes, I want to read this article because I hope the boy band concept does live forever.
Yes.
It's a very catching, interesting title.
Yeah.
However,
It grabs you.
having read this article, that's not exactly what the article is about.
Okay.
But I'm
So
kind of
it's a
going to go...
misleading clickbait.
No, it's not what I thought it would be about.
Okay.
And I just thought it would be interesting to bring here to you guys.
Yeah.
Spark up perhaps a conversation.
All right.
And hopefully this will not flop. So I'm just
right.
going to go
Hoping
through
for the
it
best.
with you guys. And I think we'll have things to say when you guys hear what this is about.
Okay. Got it.
Right? So, starts off by saying, as the wildly successful K-pop group BTS, shatters...
Pretty dynamite.
They're pretty
Yes, I like that.
There you go.
It's a good song.
shatters global records across streaming platforms and Billboard charts. They continue to face challenges to their artistic legitimacy.
Yes.
And so right off there for the first line, I'm like, oh, okay.
All boy bands have that problem.
But
no one
all
takes
boy
them
bands
serious
have this
then.
problem.
Yes.
So
Right.
anyways,
Okay.
it bears asking, why do critics have a history of basically trying to... I'm not going to read it word
Hate
for
on
word.
boy bands?
You should.
Yeah. Trying to... It uses the word denigrating, but basically it means like, why are they always trying to like trash popular boy bands?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think it's like a jealousy thing?
Jelly.
I don't know.
I don't think that like
They don't take them
critics are
seriously.
jealous of a boy band. I don't think that's what it is. It's just that,
I think they're jealous of the machine that creates them.
and I think it speaks to
I feel like they're shooting upon the fans, and I feel like they also...
that's more what it is. I think that boy bands are not marketed to 45-year-old white guys
Who are writing articles for
who
the
are
Toronto Sun.
the newspaper and internet and whatever critics, right? So
Usually men like that, like the Beatles and their woke.
I think that concept it speaks to a bigger problem as
Yes.
why are all the critics old white guys?
yeah.
Yep.
Because
Yes,
they
girl.
are not the only people who consume music and media.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? And so it speaks to a bigger problem because whatever, but this breaks it down a little more. And it's actually kind of interesting. So it says, back in July of 2013, men's magazine British GQ came under fire after publishing a cover story featuring the 5 members of the wildly popular boy band One Direction.
Oh, Wendy.
And we know how Directioners are.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the article opens with the first-hand account of a One Direction concert experience. Okay, sounds good, right?
Well, we've been to one. So, yeah.
I'm okay.
But
I guess
not
for
the
the
greatest
younger
concert.
Comparing
crowd,
apples to oranges again.
I guess for the
but-
younger crowd,
we
they
were not
appreciate
a
it.
fan of the concert ourselves, even though we are One Direction fans and like the songs. We just didn't feel their stage
Presence was like, wow, like in sync and Backstreet.
And
But
it
okay.
also could have been because our seats were really far away too.
And the lady had pink eye.
Okay, yes. There's
There's a lot of factors involved
But
in
having
that terrible
grown up
night.
in the Backstreet Boys and Sync era, did not think One Direction was living up to the hype that they should have. Like,
Agreed.
songs, baller, game, great. Concert, not so great. So, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. So, let's hear what the guy...
However, okay. So it was a first-hand account of a One Direction concert experience, courtesy of a then, oh god, my phone just, 34-year-old Jonathan Heath, the magazine's chief content officer. So if, again, back to the point that I was making before, One Direction is not marketing
To Jonathan.
to 34-year-old men.
Correct.
Unless they're
Right.
gay.
Even still.
Okay.
That would be quite the target. You're gay. You're like the editor of a magazine. You're invited to a One Direction concert. That would be quite the target. But okay.
And I'm just thinking, like, even think about it now.
Yeah.
Right? How many 34-year-old gay men do you think are going to
A One Direction.
not just a boy band concert? Because there's like a nostalgia factor in terms
Yeah.
of like if they were going to a Backstreet concert or New Kids or whatever, that would at least make sense because they were young when those bands were whatever.
Yeah.
But if they were going to like
BTS.
BTS or like those other new ones,
Pretty much.
Oh, why
pretty much
don't
sure.
we-
Why don't we? Like, wouldn't that be kind of weird?
True.
Like, why is a 34-year-old gay man lusting after these 18-year-olds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's that?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking of some of my gay friends, and there's certain ones who would be very much lusting after that.
Okay, let's continue.
So we're gonna. That's why I made the noise and
This
continue.
tangent is amazing. Diane, would you like to continue?
Anyways, all right.
But yes, like we wouldn't go to a Why Don't We or a Fourth Ave concert.
Yes,
or
we
something.
would. We would. What she's trying, the point
But
that
saying a
Diane's trying
straight
to
man
think.
who is writing for whatever magazine is not going to put
Correct. Like
on
this,
his list.
this music is not meant for him.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's
not in that group
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
demographic.
Correct.
All right.
And he's meant to
And it's not.
comment on.
I don't even. I feel weird saying the music's not meant for him, but it's just he's not their target audience.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he's not to their marketing tour.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So it stands to reason. Like, why is he the one that you would send?
Right, agreed.
Is just I think the
Instead of, like, an intern
overwhelming
or something.
point.
Right.
Right? Why not send someone who would be more inclined to possibly enjoy it versus
Yeah.
this guy who's walking in
already
with a bias
Right.
and annoyed that he has to go to this.
So maybe you need someone
what I
like
mean?
who's neutral that could like enjoy it.
Anyways,
Well, I guess that's his whole job is
Yes.
to be the neutral party.
Oh, okay.
that
But we
is
know
their
that-
job.
But
Yes.
we know that they're really not based on what they are in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because like the fan is automatically going to be like, oh my God, he farted on stage. I smelt it. It was the greatest
you
thing ever.
can't get a fan to write it
No.
either. Like you have to look at things from both perspective. But
Because the magazine's rent is made for normies, right?
Right.
It's just like, I need to explain this to normal people. Okay, what do? I'll go to the concert, write about it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I get what they're trying to
it's
do.
like, okay, let's put it in a different perspective. I don't like country music, okay? It's just it's not my thing.
Same.
Okay?
Hate it.
I don't
No
like
offense to Chinzia and
I don't
anyone
like
who-
hip hop and R&B. No
Right.
offense to Diane.
Right. So I would never send Chinzia to review a Drake concert because it could have been the best concert in the world and she'd be like, it's trash.
Yes.
Right? And you would never send me to review a
Aaron Lyons concert.
Aaron Lyons concert because I'd be like, wow, that sucked. Even if it was amazing.
Yes. Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Because it's just so there's bias in the other direction also, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's going to take a lot for us to be swayed if we're not fans of that type of music.
Correct.
Yes, I
Right?
agree. Yep.
Anyways, while Heath did not paint a flattering portrayal of the band by any means, his critique was based less on the band itself, but more on the fan base.
That's the big mistake
the
there.
fans.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He graphically describes One Direction's fans as knicker-wetting banshees
Oh!
tear off their own ears in hysterical fever when presented with the object of her fascination.
Oh my gosh, harsh, man.
Anyone a banshee, they're gonna fucking lose their
Yeah,
mind.
why are they so harsh?
Wow.
And so when I got to this part of the article, it really I said it to these guys earlier. It kind of reminded me, there was something like earlier this year, like a TED Talk about there's a girl and she's talking about like, why are people so scared of fangirls? Like, why is screaming and like being passionate about something, about a band, such a bad thing? Like, what is so bad about that?
Yes, agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, why is it so scary? Why is it so like, oh my god, we're fangirl, like blah 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 blah. And I've been saying that for years. Like, what's wrong with being passionate about something and expressing that? You know, yes, it is a very teen thing to do. As you get older, you tend to not screech as much as you did in your youth.
More crying.
Yeah. Solely because...
Oh, right.
Sorry.
Love you,
I was
buddy.
like, cries. I'm like, right.
solely because, like, literally you're old and you're just like, the vocal cords can't handle it anymore.
Yes.
I also like to do a thing where I pretend I'm screaming and I just open my mouth and and hope that the sound around me makes it look like I'm screaming, because I'm like, ain't nobody got time.
Screaming by proxy? Okay.
Whatever works.
Especially when I used to work reception, I needed my voice the next day. I couldn't be like, hello.
I was at an insane concert.
Yes. So I try not to like stress the vocal cords out as much.
Yeah.
You pick and choose when
Getting
you
older
scream.
sucks, man. But okay, continue.
I don't know that anyone, many other people are doing the fakes. It's a good strategy.
Special there, guys.
I got like that, guys.
More tips.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
But like I do agree though, because like you see men like screaming at football games and it's totally normal. But women,
This is what I'm saying. Why is it okay for anyone, it doesn't seem to matter who it is, to be at a Leaf game or at a football game or at a basketball game and passionately screaming and yelling at it, and nobody's like, oh my god, what an idiot. Like,
it's because there is some sort of like towards women there is sexism.
Sexism, yeah, for sure.
why.
well, and it circles back to...
Oh no, sorry.
No.
Okay, did I ruin the article?
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
But it circles back to our earlier point. It's because who are the people who are standing up at these games and shouting at the people?
Men.
It's older men, usually.
Yeah.
Right?
Legit.
And it's not a teen girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, it's acceptable because
Right.
you're a man.
Yes.
And
Yes.
whatever.
And, you know, my screaming at the ref is going to change the score of this game.
Definitely.
And I really love, whoever. Mm-hmm. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I'm just saying it, right? Mm-hmm. But like, it's not okay for teen girls to do it.
Right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're stupid or something.
Yes.
For some reason,
Yeah.
that makes us down.
Right. Right.
Okay, it continues. And in alluding to the quality or perceived lack thereof of One Direction's music, so basically he's saying One Direction doesn't put out good songs, goes on to say that their fans don't care about the Rolling Stones. They don't care about the meta-modernist cycle of cultural repetition. They don't care about history. All these female fans care about is their immediate vociferous reverence.
But how does he know that? They don't
Directioners
care?
were not pleased.
How does he know that they don't care? You can't
So what he's
generalize
saying
that.
is-
Rolling Stones.
To sum up, what he's saying is these girls don't even know what good music is.
They don't know the culture.
Yeah, they don't know culture. They don't know anything. All they see is like a cute guy, and they don't care if the music is garbage. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Which, hi. Let me just
First of all,
talk
they
to
weren't
you.
born at this time.
Well, yes, but let me just talk to you about New Kids on the Block. Let me just talk to you about the Backstreet Boys. Let me just talk to you
Jackson 5.
about, well, not you. Okay, but you can't. People would argue that Jackson 5 were not a boy band.
Oh, that really?
Okay.
People would. People
Okay.
would.
That's true.
Because
Right?
they're more of a family band. That's
Right,
that's
yeah.
like Hanson category.
Right? So people could argue that, right? But people would tell me when I was 14, oh, it's the 15 minutes of fame. They're not going to be popular.
Yes, it's just a phase.
know,
You're gonna get out
you know
of
what
this
I mean?
soon.
Yeah.
Their music isn't even good. Nobody's going to like them in 5 years, blah, blah, blah. And now
27 years
27 years later, they're still making albums. They're still selling out arenas. I don't think that's because their music is trash.
Timeless classic.
I don't
They make
think
classic
that's
songs.
because we're idiots who are just like, well, I think Nick Carter's cute, so I'm just gonna keep liking everything he does. Like,
Yeah.
no.
When the songs come on at a bar or something, the guys are singing along.
Oh
to
my
this
god,
song.
Kenny sings I Want It That Way all
Yeah.
the time. Yes, come on. Like, good music is good regardless of who sang it. It doesn't
And you
matter.
want to tell me, I'm sorry, I wasn't even One Direction's target audience because I was too old. Mm-hmm. Those songs are good.
Yeah.
Those are good songs.
Yes.
They do have.
They
some
are
good
timeless.
songs.
They still play today.
Yeah.
It's, the
story of my life.
It's 10 years later for some of them.
That's
like,
what
you know what I
makes it
mean?
What makes it
Like, they're good songs.
Yeah.
So to just
generalize it like that?
that's a good point. To like paint all of these girls with the same brush and say, oh, they don't care about good music. All they care about is like crushing on Harry Styles
Yeah.
is like
No.
rude, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know
You
what I
can
mean?
still recognize good music if you're not crushing on the band or whatever.
Yeah. And I
That's
like
just a bonus that they're cute.
Yeah.
They play good music
That's a
and
big
they're
bonus.
cute.
Well, and it's the draw of the boy band, right? That's how they get you in. They're like, hey, look at this. And you're like, ooh.
he's got blue eyes and his favorite color is green. You're like, me too. You know,
Yes.
it's like
Relatable.
It's like blue.
That's the shiny bait at the end of the hook,
Shiny.
right?
Ooh, look at that shiny
Yeah, that's true. That's
Right.
true. I mean, like about like the history part though that he was mentioning, like he's like, oh, they don't care about the Rolling Stones. They're just like, well, like, but at the time when you were born, that was your band.
So who was before the
that's,
Rolling
I'm
Stones
sure your
band?
uncle, your not uncle, I'm sure your grandfather was like, you didn't care about the blah blahs. You know what I mean? Like, because
Frank Sinatra, baby.
right, like
Yeah.
music comes from music. It's all cyclical. It's all like it all comes from each other. It all comes back. People do covers and stuff. Limp Bizkit did a cover, and I didn't know it was a cover. And then I'm like, "This is genius!" And then my brother's like, "It's a cover, you dumbass." And I was just like, "Well, I like
are you
Limp
supposed to
Bizkit's
know?
better." You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I don't know. It's just like that's not fair. It's not fair to judge it. Like, what am I supposed to come in with a fucking encyclopedia of music before I'm allowed entrance into a concert? Fuck you, bud. Like,
And you know what? Maybe they don't care about the Rolling Stones, but why do they have to?
right.
What makes the Rolling Stones so much better, really?
Other
Aside
than
from the
people
fact
telling
that
me
they've
was
been
good.
around longer, so they have the legacy factor.
Right.
Right? And at this time, you don't really know if 1D, they've only been out 3 years at this point. You don't know
Yeah.
if they have legs, if they're going to last.
Right. And Rolling Stones at one point started. Like, they were
Yeah.
the new band.
Yeah,
So-
when they were 3 years into their career, would you be like, oh, like it if be like, oh, you obviously don't care about other music if you think they're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? You can't. Anyways,
Yeah.
Yes.
so maybe they don't care about the Rolling Stones, but I don't think they have to.
No,
Right.
why is that? Why should you?
What
fault
does
them?
one have to do with the other?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You shouldn't compare two different bands
Yeah.
for that reason.
All right.
Yeah.
So now it goes into just say, like, it's going to talk more about how this has been like a consistent trend.
Okay.
Right? So they're saying, like, during the height of Beatlemania, critics often dismissed the band's talent by sneering at their fan base, labeling them as sex-obsessed, brainwashed consumers, unable to identify between true musical ability and their own intense sexual urges. And this is the Beatles, guys.
Yeah.
This is the band that,
Beatlemania, right?
that is considered by, I would say, most people to be
God.
tops in terms of, like, best ever.
Music.
Yes.
Males and
You know,
females.
yes. And when they were starting and when Beatlemania was happening and girls were screaming and throwing themselves at the Beatles, the critics said, oh, they suck because these girls are just, they don't know good music. They just want to throw themselves at these guys with their haircuts and whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, now they're like, more recently, fans of BTS, known as ARMY, have been referred to by news outlets as hysterical, obsessive, and as reported by Douglas Greenwood of The Independent, directioners on crack.
Oh my!
Wow.
Why is it so
So-
harsh, man? Wow.
The BTS army knows how to get shit done, by the way.
Yes.
They're not like, although
Honestly.
they appear to be like crazed or whatever, they know how they can synchronize their voting. They raised $1 million in a day twice
Yeah.
to do things.
They're very
to donate to things
organized.
they do things. So like to just dismiss them as like hormonal teenagers is really
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's very insulting.
And then apparently in 2018, in a 2018 statement on BTS, Capital FM's Ronan Kemp perfectly parroted Heath's critique. So he was the guy that did the One Direction, wondering if fans were there for the music or for what the kids look like. Right? So all of this begs the questions. Why aren't other bands with cult followings, such as Radiohead, The Grateful Dead, or Fish, similarly denigrated or trashed upon for their rabid followings?
Thank you.
What is unique about boy band audience that reflects so poorly on their idols? And we've already, I think, circled around this, which is mostly female, mostly young.
Yes.
And that's what I think, but you can keep it.
And mostly young females are like labeled as hysterical and not like smart because like, I don't know, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Because
Society is shit. Okay.
yeah.
We'll see what they have to say.
All right. Excellent.
So it says, what this mostly comes down to is the question of whose cultural taste matters.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
Right.
Most obviously, the boy band audience is almost always predominantly young and female, just as I said. As Heath exemplified in his article, cultural critics often dismiss the female fandom as being hormonally motivated by boy band members' sexual desirability rather than the presence of artistic skill. However, in dismissing fans' interests as hyper-focused on the sexual element of a boy band, critics often miss a deeper and more important element in generating a female fan base.
Very interesting.
So listen up here.
Yeah.
This is where it gets good.
Okay.
Yes.
Lou
Right.
Pearlman write the book on this.
This is where Lou was like, "You ready for this?"
Gather round. Here are the secrets.
The specific crafting of artistic content to meet the desires of women and girls. Boy bands are one of the few cultural constructions that must, in order to maintain their popularity, prioritize female desire and take female pleasure seriously. So in our culture, where females are always put below, what does the man want first?
Right.
Then what do women want?
Yes.
You know, that is how we design our whole society. What do men like about these cars? What do men like about these houses?
Yes.
What do men like about these foods? And just everything that we do.
Yes.
Boy bands are one of the few things in our society that are like, we have to put what women want first.
Yes. Wow. That's
Yes.
very empowering.
Yes.
Yes.
That is
I like
good.
that.
So I'm just like, this is where I was just like, yes, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
It's true though. It's very true.
You weren't listening, were you?
I am. I'm listening.
You're like, interesting.
I'm
It was
thinking
interesting
about
though. It is
This
interesting.
Well, because we are very
But I agree that that's a good thing.
Male-dominated society. We are. Like, and it's shit. And things are changing, but very slowly. But yeah, it's nice to know
Still
that
lots
this
of
was
work to do.
Yeah, like this is marketed towards women. Women are actually a larger audience. Aren't we like 51% of the population of the entire world? We're 51%.
I don't know about that.
And
but I'll take your
It
word for it.
seems
I'm pretty
like
sure.
It seems
I'm
like
pretty sure that women technically
good
outnumber
percentage.
men, but for some reason in every society, men are the dominant ones. You know, the hunter and then the gatherer, it's a BS. You know what I mean?
And then, okay, this is like maybe not the best analogy, but it just made me think of this. So, you know how we were talking about Nick on Twitch and how like a lot of the Twitchers are dismissing him because it's like, oh, it's Nick Carter, but also because he shows up having no clue what he's doing, whatever, but all these girls follow him.
Yes.
Right? And then he's on there with 5,000 people watching him while these people who are like marketing to men are there with like 200 people watching them and they're like, oh, fuck Nick Carter, blah, blah, blah. But who's laughing now?
That's right.
Yeah. Like seriously, like who made it to partner? Probably.
Nick's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a good analogy.
It's true.
Yes.
That's, I mean,
You know?
yeah. Spot on, bud.
Definitely.
So anyways, continuing. Though many popular artists such as Drake, The Weeknd, and Charlie Puth write songs about women, at best, their content centers around male sexuality, and at worst is blatantly objectifying.
That's true.
Yes.
That is very
Right?
true. Yes.
Yes. When WAP came out, everyone fucking lost their shit. They're like, "Oh, it's so disgusting." And
Yes.
remember?
Yeah.
Remember? I know. You don't like WAP.
On Twitter, that was totally like, oh, how could they do this? It's so degrading for women.
Yes.
Why would they do this in this video?
But
blah,
just
blah,
like,
blah.
but it's women empowerment. It's like, yeah, women want the dick. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying it. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's have some dick. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, it's so disgusting.
But when a guy does it, like, oh, I want the women.
pussy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Very true. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And-
yes.
Oh, that meme that has
They're
been
both
going around that's like, oh, last year we canceled
Oh, that Christmas music.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Baby It's
Yes.
Cold Outside, and this year the most popular song
WAP.
is WAP. What, don't you see a problem with that? I'm like, no, I don't,
I know.
actually.
Yeah.
I know. Oh,
Not that
yes,
I
you know
think-
who shared that. Yes.
Lots
But
of people share that.
Tons
But-
of people
okay,
share
but
that.
yes.
But like, not that I think It's Cold Outside. We talked about this maybe a little. I think you have to look at the intent of the song. When
Yes.
that was written, it wasn't written with like rapey intent.
Yes.
correct. But that's how it comes off
But
now.
it comes off that way now. So I can understand why. I understood why people were upset about it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Do I think we had to cancel it and not put it on the radio? No. But I get it why people would.
Yeah.
Because everybody interprets songs in different ways. Right?
But all of a sudden, people are like, women want to have sex? I'm horrified! I'm horrified!
Yeah, exactly. I know.
You know?
Not knowing that.
Anyways.
Yeah.
There-
It was
There's a reason why they're.
it was the style at the time to be very coy about things. That came off now, like in like as rapey culture, and like that's why that happened. But like with WAP, it's like, I am the woman, give me some of that dick, and then everyone's like, no.
People don't like that when
Right.
you do it.
Right,
But when
because
it's men, it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole thing.
That's the sexism that we were talking
The
about.
sexism.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to get into some of this.
Do people actually like that other shit?
What do you mean?
Superman, that hoe, and all that shit. Like,
People love that!
why do people love that?
It was a catchy
Because
song. It was gross.
Listen, I love these artists that they're mentioning here. Okay, so they're good songs, but I think all those songs are good.
Okay.
Like, granted, to Superman, someone is very rude and not kind. If you
When someone explains
so
to me what that was,
essentially,
and I
you're
was just
using
like,
a bodily fluid as a glue to put a bed sheet on someone's back, and you're Supermaning them. Like, not so kind. However, I knocked over my water bottle.
But listen, it was fun. There was a dance. You know.
Yeah.
The
dance.
Now watch me. Ooh.
Right.
Okay.
It was a fun
Yeah,
dance. It was a fun
It was fun.
dance.
sure.
Okay.
Listen.
It brings people together to do the dance.
Anyways.
But technically, it was a gross song.
Yes.
But okay.
Yeah.
Anyways. Hearing The Weeknd sing about how he just fucked two bitches in his song The Hills is not revolutionary. In fact, it only mirrors the rhetoric that most women frequently hear about their sexuality. So this is what they're saying.
Yes.
All the songs that are popular are just portraying women as like, men want to have sex with women. You
Sex
are
objects.
you
they
are
don't
a
even bother to know the names.
Yes.
of.
Yes.
Use and lose. And
I
it's gonna
fuck
next
two
up and down.
bitches. They don't have
Okay.
names. They're bitches.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is cool.
don't wanna know your
like-
name.
And they're
I
like,
just
they're
want
giving a
bang, bang,
standing
bang.
ovation. Oh, you
yet-
had sex with two women.
Then they wonder why women prefer boy
Boy
bands who are just
Yes.
like, love you, you're so beautiful. One Direction's you don't know you're beautiful. And like,
Yes.
oh, why? Why do they like that better? I don't know the heart.
Such a sweet message.
Concept.
Yes.
Anyways, in contrast, hearing BTS sing about the fear and frustration of losing passion for what you love in their track Black Swan from their latest album, Map of the Soul 7, is unbelievably refreshing. I agree.
That was a good song when we heard it.
I didn't hear it, but it sounds refreshing.
Well, it's in Korean. So even if we did hear it, we wouldn't understand what they're talking about.
Fair.
But it sounded good to the ears.
I'm sure if you speak the language or if you did some kind of translation, the point is it applies to every boy band,
Yes.
right? So
Every
you can
language.
apply the...
They're not like,
logic.
Bitch, you stupid hoe. I want
Let me fuck
you know.
you. Yeah.
and move on to the next one. That's not what the boy band songs are like. That's not.
The boy bands are like, I care about you and your
I
feelings.
care about you, girl.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love
When
you.
you
We're
first,
here to take care of you.
when you first heard the Backstreet Boys, they were all like, I'll never break
Break your
and
heart.
they were like, oh, they'll name you what?
And then mom would walk by, this is a bunch of bullshit. I'm like, thanks, mom.
I'll never fuck that hoe and go like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never like
Yes.
yeah.
Nobody
Definitely
listens to
a
that and goes, aw, it's so nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Anyways. Though BTS boasts an impressively diverse fan base, which is true,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's 2020, that's probably why. It remains predominantly female, and the music they make communicates very clearly to their fans. You and your interests matter.
Yes, they do matter. Yes.
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 Don't let anyone say that doesn't matter.
Essentially, they're marketing to an underrated population, and people are surprised when they have success.
Yeah.
It's weird. Okay. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
It is weird.
No,
And it's weird.
This is what I wanted. I wanted us
Okay,
to
good.
discuss this
Yay.
topic.
Okay, good.
So
Doing
please.
well. We're doing well.
Arielle LeBeau perfectly describes this phenomenon in her article on One Direction for Complex magazine.
Ooh.
After falling into late obsession with the band, she realized that in a music industry that simultaneously treats teen girls as the most lucrative consumers but the least respected audience,
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
One Direction speaks directly to female fans and says something that their demographic doesn't get to hear as much as it should. You are important.
Yes. Thank you.
You are important.
Right? So
I
Agree.
you want to market to teen girls, you want to take their money, but because, you know, and this article is written in 2020, and we're talking about One Direction, and this is after the boy band explosion of the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? And like we've watched the documentaries, we watched all the things. It was at that time that the music industry sort of realized, like, hey, we can harness the power of these teen girls
Yes.
and their craziness to make money. Lou Pearlman was like, look at New Kids. Those kids got a private jet. I can do that. And
Yes.
then not only did he make one band, he made two to make even more money because he's like,
Like
what was
seven
it? Them
at one
against
point.
each other.
What was
makes
his
sense.
quote? As long as there's like teenage girls, there's always will be room for boy bands.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
true. It's true.
So-
he made like 7 bands. Like he even did girl groups at one point, and I think country.
Innocent?
Yes.
Yeah, so like he tried to dip in a lot of honey pots, but I'm just saying, like he knew what was up. These are women. Okay, not women yet, but whatever. These are people who have
Young girls.
who have disposable income and who are marginalized by their adult counterparts. So yes, thank
And
you.
even if they don't have disposable income, because like as a teen, you don't really have like maybe you have your babysitting money, but you don't have like.
Yeah.
But you have your
know,
parents.
But
allowance.
you have enough passion and drive to force a market on things, right? Like these teen girls in the days of One Direction and in the days now of BTS, even if they don't have money,
They have social media.
they have
a
social
fan
media
community,
influence.
right? You have a fan
They have
community.
social media influence. Back in the 90s, we used to take to the streets and
yeah.
block the
Yes,
street
we
off.
did. Yes.
To be like, we love Backstreet Boys, you know,
Yes.
and then so
Remember, we would fax in stuff like what was it like?
Yes,
much
Traumatic clips.
Yes, and we're like, ooh,
would write letters.
Rick the Tip, Backstreet Boys is best. Send.
You would write letters, right? You would
Hamilton
send
says
letters.
that.
Yes, send letters. We used to be fucking crazy.
and like when BTS is in any of these Billboard Music American Music Awards, any of these things,
If
they
there's a fan vote category,
in like not
Yes.
just like there was 10,000 votes, there was 10 million votes.
Yes.
Like in droves, they just come
Yes.
and show their love, and that's what you want as an artist. I'm like, fuck yes.
I don't think I love Drake. I don't think 10 million people are going to go vote for him in a fan thing.
This is true.
Agreed.
Yes.
Right?
you gotta
Because-
log in to the website.
Yeah.
you gotta go
Sometimes people don't have time for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Girl fans got time.
Yes.
We'll make time.
They'll make time.
They'll make the time
And they'll
to
remind their friends
to
that they gotta
support
vote.
their
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
They will
Agreed.
make
You know what I mean?
time. Yes.
Totally.
They'll download thing blockers to vote for AJ. We're friggin' in our 30s.
Yes. VPN.
VPN blockers.
Remember when 98 Degrees was talking about their Buffalo thing and how the entire like city ran out of index
Yes.
cards because they had to write like we want 98 Degrees to come to our high school, and they sent tens of thousands of index cards
What?
that
Did they
people
really?
were driving half an hour, 45 minutes away to stores to get index cards.
What?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
I do remember this.
So,
Ooh,
like-
goosebumps.
And it was just like crazy. So they were just like, everyone get the index cards. Let's start writing. Let's
Yes.
get them in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a
So,
show
like,
of community, man.
it is.
That's beautiful.
That's
So,
that
like,
community, yeah.
A lot of people become friends through things like that and bond.
Us?
Yeah, this is our bond,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So, like, this is what I'm saying. So, given that literally fangirls have that much power, sorry guys, the camera keeps like
turning.
turning slowly.
Yeah, it's like the cord got.
They're also trying to do like a 360 video.
Yeah.
very slowly.
Yeah.
Anyways, boy bands are kind of like the reason that they get the girl, aside from like no one's denying that they look for attractive young men. That's part
all
of
of
it.
them attractive young men.
But they always have at least one.
Yes.
They have to have.
There's
one.
no band where you're like
all
every single
five
one of
ugly.
these are ugly.
This is true.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
is true.
That's true.
They usually have at least one, but usually 2 to 3 that you're
Yes,
like
like-
yes.
Like universally liked by everyone. And then there's the couple of oddballs.
That are
Yes.
just, you
The
know,
chinsey attack.
Just there.
Chinzia.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Am I shitting upon my husband?
Anyways,
Okay.
let's keep reading.
Okay.
Thinking of the New Kids one, but
Well,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Everyone interprets it differently.
In addition to fandom-based critiques of their music, BTS also face rampant racism and xenophobia
Yes, that's
from American
true.
Recording Academy and global media outlets. While
I've heard
groups
this.
like One Direction never had to compete in a category for Best British Pop, which is true, they just got in the Best Group category.
okay.
K-pop acts have been forced to compete with one another in the Best K-pop or world music categories at events such as the VMAs,
Okay.
excluding them from competing with mainstream pop.
Yeah.
Which is true. In the defense, though, of these media outlets, their songs are not in English.
Fair.
True.
Fair.
So I think now that BTS is putting out songs in English,
Yeah.
they can cross that barrier.
Yes.
But I think the only thing that's preventing, for example, MTV, since they mentioned the VMAs, from putting them in a category with everyone else is literally that one fact.
Yes. Agreed. Totally
Yes.
agreed.
the fact that they can be so huge and they don't speak English is
Oh, 100%.
It's amazing.
something to themselves.
Absolutely.
Transcend
Their
language.
videos, their
Yes.
dancing, the sound of them.
Music is a universal language.
It is.
So that's
It is.
why people come together.
But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wondering if they're going to start recording an English only album.
They could.
They
With the
might. I
Dynamite
don't know. I
stuff.
really
I feel
don't.
like the boys are learning English.
Dynamite's like blowing up. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is very catchy.
So they're just comparing it now. They're saying Black and Latino artists have been similarly regulated to urban categories
Right.
for years,
Yes.
establishing pop music made by white artists as the standard.
Right.
Even while major U.S. media sources such as The Tonight Show have showcased BTS, so shout out to them.
Yes.
Other mainstream publications such as The Hollywood Reporter have reinforced poor coverage of the group through the misuse of Korean language and excessive attention towards the group's lack of complete English fluency. Which, you know,
It's true.
again,
Hey,
they don't speak English.
Yeah.
They're not fluent in English, but
The leader does.
RM.
and
does.
why does that? And why does it matter? I guess
Right.
is the overwhelming.
I guess because
point.
English is like the universal language of the globe right now, because
True.
in colonial times, England took over the most of the lands, which is why we have to speak English. So,
Well, but then on the reverse side of that, what about English bands going to Europe? So like Backstreet Boys and stuff going to all of these other countries where they don't speak German or Italian or French or whatever. They still have a pretty good following there. So why can't it be the opposite? Why can non-English speaking people?
Because in Europe, yes, English is not their first language, but they still use English.
yes,
Yeah. True.
yes.
True.
Right? Like in all the European countries, you know how like in Canada, I guess, we learn French as like a second language
We have to.
outside of Quebec, you know? In Europe, regardless of what their first language is, they always learn English as a second language.
Yeah.
Because you need it to succeed in a global market.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Right?
True. True.
So yeah, and this is I can't speak for every country, but I think it's pretty universal across the world. Like even in Asia, I know it's true. Like so many people I know have gone to China, Japan, Korea to teach people English.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
I have.
So
yes.
true. Yeah.
Because it's just part of their schooling. that
Yeah.
they have to learn some basic English.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
Totes.
for sure.
Anyways, okay, so BTS has faced two major challenges to critical acceptance. Not catering traditional masculinity and not catering to a Western-centric music industry.
That's very true.
So while these challenges may have affected the recognition of the group's accomplishments by major Western music authorities, as it only served to further grow their fan base.
Yes.
Not only does their music send the message that the desires of their female fans are real and important,
Yeah.
but so are the desires of fans who are not white and who are not from Western countries.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true.
So also 100% true, because
Yes.
that is one thing that you could say about boy bands of the past, was that even though they were probably doing what BTS and what they were saying One Direction is doing, which is saying like, I care about you as a female, and I think that your interests and your thoughts and your opinions are valid and important. It's very Western focused. It's very, if we look at the 90s boy bands, they're very white,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, O-Town,
it has,
you know,
yeah, they
him.
tried. They
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah.
And I think F5 did have Acorn Man. I can't remember his
Yeah.
name. Oh my god. Sean, thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
yes. So I mean, like, an attempt was made, but not enough was made to, like,
I
give
feel
more.
like what they tried to do at the time, and maybe this was just like, it was probably more whatever, was that like some of the boy bands tried to, like Backstreet tried to be like, Howie is our Latin guy.
Our Latin lover.
Yes, I guess. Yeah.
Like and then they had like a couple Spanish songs and stuff, and that was their
He
like
doesn't habla español.
attempt at being like, look, we're not just
yeah.
for the Western, you know.
Wasn't
North
AJ
America.
supposed to be Latin too? Didn't they like fight over that? Like, who's more Latin, me or that guy? And then like
Yeah,
Howie
something like
won?
that. Something like that.
Yeah.
Recently on Dancing with the Stars, he was saying, I'm going back to my Latin roots, and we're like, you're Latin? What?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I thought there was
He's
like.
forgotten that he's had the Latin.
Yeah. Okay.
It's what it is.
Anyways. All right. All three of these messages are a distinct departure from the majority of American pop music, which dominates most of the global music industry. True. As of now, BTS is catering to the broadest and most diverse fan base a pop act has ever seen, which is true, because
Yes.
what you were saying before, not to point, I feel like you're taking this very differently, is that Backstreet Boys were very popular in Europe,
Yeah.
and then they became very popular in North America, and then they sort of became very popular in South America, and then they have their popularity,
Global domination.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Japan.
But
Yeah.
it was phases, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was like once they started gaining a lot of popularity in North America, they sort of started forgetting about Europe.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously it dies down.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like, I feel like BTS started in
Korea and then
in
just-
Korea and like in
like a
Asia,
wave.
and then it has just been like slowly taking over, and it's
taking the globe.
simultaneous. It's not
Yeah.
now that we're
Yeah.
getting more popular as we're moving west, we're losing popularity over here. No, it's just more. It's like an avalanche.
Yes.
It's going.
like
It's keep
spreading.
going. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
True.
it picks up steam. Like it's
Yeah.
snowballing. I think
Yes.
is the perfect analogy. Like
Yeah.
it's just more and more people join the thing
Yes.
versus like, oh, now we're over here. Oh, now we're over here.
Yeah,
Oh, now we're over
yeah,
here.
And I feel like technology is really helping with
Thank
stuff
you.
like that.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because
that's
Backstreet
true.
Boys didn't have that back then.
Social
example,
media, for sure.
Social
Yeah.
media is huge. They do a lot of TV things, or like they make videos and things like that.
Yes.
But for example, like we're talking about global domination, New Kids on the Block, I think was only a North American thing. I don't think
Yeah.
they were that big in Europe. And if they were, they haven't really gone to Europe since they've reinvented,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's
Yeah.
true.
Like Backstreet still does the North American.
They only went to
European-
Europe, I think, during the NKO
TBSB, probably,
that's
right?
it, yeah.
Because the Backstreet Boys brought them to Europe, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the Backstreet Boys do try to keep things there. So we have New Kids, which are mostly U.S. and Canada. Then we expand to the Backstreet Boys, and now we're expanding to BTS. Which is just like
worldwide.
Yes.
Because
And
as
we
the time
also
goes on, the technology goes on.
Yes.
Well, and technology and learning from the past, right?
Yes.
So
Right.
Lou Pearlman learned from New Kids,
Yes.
right? And he was able to make them uber successful, right?
Yes.
And now these boy bands are learning from them
Yes.
by saying, okay, that works. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about
The Lou Pearlman of K-pop. Who
right.
was that
And
guy?
what's that
Oh,
big
you always
hits?
forget his name.
Oh.
But the
Big Hits Machine.
Yeah.
Yes.
That corporation.
Yes.
We've talked about this before. It is a company.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is like a factory for
Correct.
these K-pop
And
groups.
BTS are now millionaires because
But they just became millionaires
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes time.
So
The
check,
company
the check
went
was coming in the mail?
it takes time. No, they're taking a huge cut of the money.
that, yeah.
Huh?
Sorry,
Some
I should
things
say,
never
I should
change
say
with
that,
boy
yes.
bands.
Oh, no.
I shouldn't
The
say it
Lou.
takes time.
But they learn from the Lou thing, and they realize that, hey, right? Like, even O-Town kind of learned from the Lou, but they just wanted to get in anyways, even though they knew.
Yeah.
Ashley Parker,
Yes,
Angel,
Angel
followed
He
Lou
literally went to the
toilet.
bathroom,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like, but to see these things and to hear, like, how vocal, like, NSYNC and Backstreet were about with their, like, lawsuits and things like
Yeah.
that, the newer boy bands come in seeing that, and
Learning.
they're like, we're going to look over our contracts better. We're going to do
Yeah.
this
But they're
better.
still not giving them their correct cut of the money. That's what I got
Okay,
from that.
that's true. Okay, yeah.
There's
that's
no
true.
way BTS should just be becoming millionaires now.
That's true. That's true. It shouldn't have taken that long. I thought it took time getting used to it, but yeah, you're right.
In defense of the corporations.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they like house them, they feed them, they do whatever.
Okay,
They
no.
also
Yeah. Should I give my
put all
talent to
the
this one?
marketing money. They put those slick music videos do not come out of nowhere. So there's
True.
other people. There's marketing teams that are pushing them out. There's other things. So there is a whole lot of things. Yes, I do agree they should have a lot of money, but
Yes.
you can't just say "fuck you" record label because
They-
Town has no record label and they play their music on a.
Okay.
Right,
Valid
right.
points.
Yeah,
Valid
So, like,
points.
you do need to take some of the badness of that. Yes. Do people take advantage in a situation like it?
Yes.
100%.
Right.
Or is this big machine also using BTS money to try to make other places? Of course they are.
Yes.
They're trying to get other bands for whatever.
When
And
BTS
that's my
eventually-
point, right? I think they set it up like, do you want to be famous? They telling these boy bands now, do you want to be BTS? Well, this is a contract you have to sign. You need to give us 75% of your
life.
revenue.
Yeah.
And they have
You
rules
can't
for them.
have-
You
you
can't
can't
do
go
this.
dating
You
when
can't
you're
do.
there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your
You
hair
have
has to be this
very
way.
strict.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't gain weight. You have to this is your regiment. Yeah. I mean,
learn how to dance. You need
it's
to
a
do this.
lot. It's
It
a
is a
lot to
lot.
give up.
lot of
And
hard
so
work.
they know what they're signing up for.
They're sacrificing a lot.
But also it's a machine now. They know what they're doing, and they purposely have done certain things to appeal to a global market. Remember we
Yes.
talked about how they make the group names like BTS,
Yeah.
or like things that like it doesn't matter what language you
Yes.
speak,
Yeah.
you can
Understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they all of those things are in mind when
Yes.
they're like
Yeah. True.
putting
Very-
these groups together.
Yes.
Anyways, last point. As the boy band continues to take the world by storm, we can only wait while traditional Western arbiters of taste try to catch up with them and their fans.
Yes.
Mm.
So,
Like the word
So
arbiters.
very,
That's fancy.
yeah.
Because in 10 years, they'll be like, oh, wasn't it amazing what they did? Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, how dare you like this new band? Don't you know about BTS? Don't you know about
Yes.
Yeah.
whoever?
Yes.
and in defense of whatever, we kind of do that too, right? Like in some ways,
Yeah. We are like
as
Backstreet.
as 90s boy band fans,
Yeah.
we're just like, oh, all these girls think BTS is the best, but like, do they even know about the 90s? Do they even know about NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and New Kids and like,
Oh, this One Direction concert is crap because
yeah.
It's like ageism in a way, right?
Yes.
I mean, this goes back to like centuries, like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, like we're like, oh, these damn kids are on their cell phone, and like before we're like, oh, these damn kids are reading books, and then before like, oh, these damn kids are playing with sticks. You know what I mean? There's always like someone who's gonna complain about
These
something.
damn kids are bringing the woolly mammoth out.
Right, like, you know what I mean? It's true. Like there's something there.
The whole like millennials are ruining everything. Culture. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Because you eat avocados, that's why you can't have a mortgage.
Yes, exactly. Why aren't millennials buying diamonds? You know, it's like because they can't afford to live. Yeah, like it's just
true. Yeah,
but you know what I mean? It's like just because it's always it's just like culture by culture and sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Generation by generation.
Yeah.
You're always fearful of the things that are different than how you did them.
Yes, things you don't understand.
And skeptical.
Fear of the unknown.
Fearful, right? So it's just like, millennials with their internet and their avocados and they're like, whatever. Yeah. Like they don't know what they're talking about.
Right, yeah.
That's why people are always judging other generations.
You know what I mean? So they're ruining everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a million things that like supposedly millennials, there's like dumb things like millennials don't buy napkins. Like,
millennials, the mayonnaise industry and like all this other
doorbells.
Yes.
Like I was just like, what?
Like, why is this shit even important? But okay.
Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I know, basically, it all applies to this, right? Because it's that guy saying, like, oh, they're ruining, they don't care about the Rolling Stones. Like, no, they don't care about the Rolling Stones.
And that's
because they weren't alive.
That's okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Things evolve, things change.
Yes.
You know?
And that's just unfortunately our lives as mortal human beings. The clock goes and we get older and eventually we die. But these are the things that bring us joy, so let us enjoy them while we're still here.
That's just like how boring would it be though if new bands didn't come out or whatever?
Right.
You're just listening to the same thing all the time. And like sometimes you gotta expand your horizons.
Open up.
Realize that maybe this isn't that
bad. In a new world.
Oh. And there is
like for example, like even just like the Jonas Brothers. Like we were too old for the Jonas Brothers back in the day.
Like we've heard of the Jonas Brothers.
We never like a couple songs. Yeah. You're like, oh, whatever. But then to like have them come back, to watch their documentary, to listen to their new albums, to see all the new stuff, and you're just
to go to concerts.
You know what?
So you're like really on the journey. Like, okay, you're a fan.
Jonas Brothers are good. They're fan. I'm like, I don't care that they're like 10 years younger than me or whatever. I don't know how old they are. But still, it's just like, you know what? They're a good band. I can appreciate the fact that they are a good band.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh my God, Nick Jonas. It's like, I'm listening to the music.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Like
yes,
that.
Exactly.
Oh, and that's fine.
Yeah. As long as it's not an illegal age of weirdness.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. In a legal age of weirdness. Okay.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
expand your horizons, guys. Yeah. Watch some things you haven't watched before. Listen to some new things.
Because you might enjoy it. You never know.
You don't know.
But if you don't listen, you won't find out.
You'll never know.
And I hope that there are always boy bands because as
the
even though this article was not what the title led me to believe it would be about.
What was the title again?
Why? Oh God, I've closed it now.
Okay.
Something like why there'll always be boy bands.
Yeah,
and I was like,
it really did bring you in. So reading it, you're like, oh, maybe this is what it will be. But then it didn't become that. But it was still interesting.
Unless our society changes where females become the dominant type, then I wonder what would music look like then. If anything, we'd probably see more boy bands.
Or at least music of that genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
More marketing to ladies.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting article. I liked it a lot. Thank you for bringing that to the table.
it to our attention.
So I feel like we should be mostly saying like, as long as there'll be music,
we'll be coming back again. Yes, I like that, Shinzia.
I thank you. I heard it from some boys. The Backstreet.
And they're very true. They've been making music.
And they're back. All right.
Always.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.